Welcome to the official podcast of Joey Song. You know, at Joey Song, we have one mission: raise as much money as we can so that research into finding treatments and cures for epilepsy can get the funding it needs. We would love your support. If you can subscribe and leave a review of this podcast, it will help more than you could ever know. If you have a couple extra mouse clicks left in you, go to YouTube and our YouTube channel, Joey Song, and subscribe. There. In less than 2 minutes, with a couple of mouse clicks, you will have made it easier for others to find us and help spread the word. Now, if you want to do a bit more, head over to joeysong.org, consider buying a show ticket or some merch, or even making a donation. Thanks. You know, we'll beat this disease, and together we'll have some fun doing it as well. Join us. All right, let's do this.
Setlist and scoreboards.
Oh, nice.
Mike from Joey Song, Ebo here. Mike, it's the second episode here. A pleasure to see you, my man.
Yeah, the FCC didn't send us a warning or anything, so I think we're good to go.
Well, man. there's a process behind that.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
It's not an immediate
thing. It's not an immediate thing. There's got to be a complaint filed, and then there's got to be an investigation by the FCC.
Oh.
And what I can do, Mike, so everything is recorded here, but it records so every time this mic is on, there's a new file.
Okay.
I can go back and.
Oh, so there's no real proof of it kind of thing.
You know, they can find anything, I think, when you can, if you get the guys investigating enough. But for me, the easiest way I know is just delete a file. Yeah. Maybe there's some back channels. I don't know. Yeah. But we're good. We're good.
90% of the problem cleared up. Right.
For Joey Song, epilepsy, we're fighting against epilepsy, Mike. I'm curious because we were just talking a little off air, and how's your week been? You said you've been busy with everything. Joey Song.
Yep.
My question for you is, now obviously the concerts we have coming up in January.
Yep.
2 nights sold out. Yep. Sylvie, incredible. My question, though, is what's all the work that goes in behind the scenes during the off time?
It's a great question, actually. So it's musicians are wonderful human beings, but musicians also, by their nature, are procrastinators, and they wait for inspiration to strike.
That's an artist kind of.
Yeah, and it's what makes them good at what they do and who they are. And
I have that.
Yeah, I think we all kind of do, whether we like to admit it or not. And so what I'm doing is I do all the stuff that goes around putting on the show, because once I can finally get everybody's attention in September, all the artists' attention in September, then we can actually do, all right, what songs are we going to do? Who's going to do what song? Who's playing on this and doing all that? So what I'm really doing now is all the stuff that I should be doing in October and November, but I can't be doing because I'm working with the artists. So it's a lot of working on the publicity, working on partnerships, getting sponsors and doing all that kind of stuff, all that.
Well, you had mentioned in episode 1 something about Beastie Boys.
Yep.
And maybe a subliminal or whatever, I was quoting some lines from Intergalactic earlier today. And then I'm thinking, in this off time here, as you're setting up for the concert, like, what? You have the hell of a Rolodex, man.
Yep.
I mean, you've set up some awesome interviews. You got some great artists coming in, and you've got some connections. How does one get involved with getting the Beastie Boys here?
Well, that's the beauty of what Joey Song has grown into, right? Because now I have this network of artists who have been, who have seen, who have done, and know that we don't, do anything halfway, right? And so they know, then they feel comfortable asking their friends. The music business is actually a really small community. You would be surprised how many people, especially the artists that we're working with that have now been in the business 20, 30 years, you've done enough festivals, you've done enough whatever it is, you're in the same studio. A lot of this stuff happens because there's only so many rehearsal spaces in LA. I can't tell you how many times we'll name drop for a second. I'm talking with Butch, and he's in, and yesterday, a couple weeks ago, he was, Keanu Reeves and Rat Dog or whatever that band is.
They're coming to the Sylvie, Dog Star.
Yeah. It was right. I don't know. That was Bobby Weir, wasn't it? Rat Dog. I can't keep it all straight. Old age is a terrible thing. But there's a lot of that, and they're right next door, or they were on after us at a festival. And so they know each other. And like anybody else, you click with some people and you don't. So once they know, and then they'll say, you know who'd be really good at this? X or Y. And that's where somebody recommended Adam from Beastie Boys, because Adam is publicly, I'm not telling any secrets behind the scene, has epilepsy, right? So it's the kind of thing. And his wife, Kathleen Hanna, was in Bikini Kill, was the force. I mean, if we could get both of them, that'd
be awesome, man.
The roof would.
You get an ad rock in there, though, man.
Right. And so that's literally how I do it now. I mean, my artists also ask, I drop names now, too, like, you know who I'd really like to get?
Sure.
Half the time, it's like, I know so-and-so.
You got to ask, right?
Yeah, and everybody knows. It's so much easier to do that when you're doing a charity, because they know I'm not making any money on this. I'm doing it, if I was trying to put on a show where I'm going to make money for myself personally, people wouldn't be quite so quick to put their reputation on the line. But they know what we're doing. And like I said, they know it's cool, you love it kind of stuff. And so that's how these connections now get made.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's like once you get, even for me, like in the sports world, the agents, you're like,
absolutely.
This
Same
agent, you meet one agent, all of a sudden you open the door for like 50 different people. Like, I know him. Yeah, I get him. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. This, that.
Small. It's all a
small world. It is. Once you kind of get your foot in that door, then it opens up a little bit.
Do you remember the Seinfeld where George Costanza had the model's picture in his wallet, and then they all,
he's in a meat packing plant, and then having that.
It's the same kind of thing. My artists are my model wallet.
It was Jerry's girlfriend with the man hands.
Yeah, ripping the bread, got the schmutz in the eye.
Got the lobster. He's like, that's not a twist off.
That's how it is. That's how it is when you get into when
you get into the secret club.
That's right.
But it's kind of secret, but not that secret,
It's really not. Everybody pretends it is.
Hey, as long as you don't get a picture of a Maybelline ad, all right?
That's right.
But you got the is Butch Vig the first? Was that the foot in the door for Joey's song when it comes to the big?
Freedy Johnston was actually was the first one that was kind of a well-known name that was part of it. But Butch is absolutely my whatever you want to call it, my credibility builder. I don't need to go past that when I'm talking with either an artist for the first time or a manager or an agent or something like that. And they go, well, tell me more about it. And I'm no dummy. I lead with Butch. Well, Butch Vig, multi-platinum Grammy-winning producer.
Have you heard of Nirvana?
Created basically the 90s music scene. Anyway, he helps, and that,
you have to.
That leads in because then they go, okay, this isn't some fly-by-night something or other.
Well, it's great that way, too, because also it's a fight against epilepsy. It's Joey's song. It's like this is something that everyone can get behind, and then if you can throw around a name like Butch Vig,
that's right,
coupled with a greater cause.
Yeah. And
beautiful.
And now we're at the point where we've got 3 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame regulars. We got Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick and Jane and Gina from the Go-Go's, and now Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses, Audio Slave.
Yeah.
You've got... You're starting to, and I was just doing something the other day for some of this work that I do in the off season, and I mean, half those bands are Grammy nominated, Grammy winners. Those are kind of the credibility builders with everybody, right? And especially when I can say, and they come back every year, right? It's not they did it once and we never heard from them again. So that makes it real easy. I can at least have the conversation, which is all I ask, right? Give me the chance. Yeah. Give me the chance to pitch my thing to you, and then let's see what works.
That's what I say. It's like, what's the worst thing to happen? They just say no.
I got to be honest with you. It took me a long time to develop that thick skin.
Same.
When I started, because I was like, well, how can you not see the virtue in what we're doing? And then I realized that the person that's recruiting for Special Olympics and the American Heart Association and all those are just as worthy. Yeah. They're just as worthy. Yeah. Now, what we do is a little bit special on the how we raise the money, but the value and the virtue and those are just as worthy as what we do.
Yeah. Well, you got to fight for your Joey song, right. Just like people got to fight for the insert charity or organization here.
Exactly. And realizing that somebody saying no to me is not devaluing what we're doing or how I'm doing it. And 9 times out of 10, it's more the circumstances. We can't because of, especially when, with our model, having a specific date, they've got to be able to come to Madison on that date. If I was asking people, hey, can you come to Madison at some point and do a show, it would change the dynamics of it. But literally, I'm saying, are you or your artist available January 8th through 10? Yeah. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, and that's part of that conversation. But that's no reflection on what we're doing or how we're doing it.
And it took me a long time too to get used to hearing no, and it's not a bad thing.
It's not.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the other conversation I wish I could have with people, and this is a lesson for all you listeners: if you can't do something for a charity, say no right away.
Yeah.
Don't, because that's the other thing. People don't want to hurt your feeling. Oh, I don't want to hurt his feeling. Just
say no.
Just say no.
Transparency.
And I'll call you back next year, same time, and we'll see if the opportunity arises. Because that's what you get is the people going, well, and it would just be easier to say no.
And I'm a big believer in this, too. The best thing you can be is open and honest.
Yeah.
Right away. Just open and honest.
It saves everybody time and effort, especially when you're a small charity that doesn't have a lot of time or money to do stuff. Just let me know and we'll move on.
I like BSing. I don't like lying, though. I like BSing, but I don't like lying.
Wow, that's an entire TED Talk right there.
I can BS with the best of them. My mantra, though, I don't lie. Just be open and honest.
Yeah.
You can BS, but don't be a liar.
Yeah, that's a good one. Boy, there's a T-shirt in there somewhere.
I got a couple other ones, Mike.
Yeah.
Doing living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. All right.
Yeah, oh boy. There you go. Nice. That's a good one.
If you're not pushing daisies, you should be pushing weight.
Oh man.
See, I've been working on these.
Wow, there's a book here.
I got a lot of windshield time sometimes.
Yeah.
So speaking of, you said you got some Hall of Famers, rock and roll Hall of Famers on your list here for Joey's song, and it grows every year.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking here. You got John Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yep.
You have, let's see here,
Kurt from Tears for Fears and Bangles
couple from
and
Soul
Go-Go's.
Asylum.
Yep.
I love the Silver Sun pickups, man.
Yeah.
They're when Lazy Eye first came out.
Unbelievable band.
I love that album.
And the nicest people you would ever want to meet, too.
They are so Fountains of Wayne on there.
Yep. Eve Six.
Yeah, Eve Six.
Art from Everclear. We haven't really announced it yet, but Art from Everclear is joining us.
Yeah.
So tons of cool people.
Now, with the, and what Mike and I like to do, too, is we talk Joey's song. Let's talk a little sports, but also a little music, because you got a great music mind. You said Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Hall of Famers. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're getting some new people put in.
Yes,
to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just announced. And with that, let's see here. Let's run down the list a little bit.
Yep.
We have, and we'll talk Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden's in.
Yes.
But they're not going to be there at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Right. So Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Oasis, Joy Division, New Order, the late Luther Vandross.
Yep.
Did I say Wu-Tang Clan?
Not yet.
Wu-Tang Clan, and there's one other one.
Sade.
Sade.
Yeah.
That's what's coming in hot here.
Yeah.
What do you think of Iron Maiden saying, you know what? We don't want to disappoint our fans. We're going to be in Australia and New Zealand touring.
Yep.
We're not going to come to the induction.
It fits their ethos. It fits who they are. It's
rock
perfect.
And roll.
It's perfect, man. And so we could have another 2-hour discussion on what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, what it should be, what the criteria is. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a for-profit endeavor. It's no grand, charitable something or other.
I never thought of that.
I mean, it's just a bunch of guys got together and said, we're going to start this. It's not like the Baseball Hall of Fame and all that. It's a for-profit endeavor.
I have never thought of it. Never thought of that.
Right. So it's not, I think Jan Warner from Rolling Stone is one of the investors. I think it's a bunch of musos got together and did that, which is great. It needs it. But the difference is, I think if you could separate the museum side from the Hall of Fame side, you can have quite a discussion, right? Because the museum side is great to see all those artifacts and all the stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think they mind when people go on the air like we're doing right now and argue who's in, right?
It's a great arguing. It's a great topic.
No publicity is bad publicity kind of stuff. So it's a for-profit thing. So if I'm Iron Maiden, I'm like, well, like they said, my fans, we're going to make money off of this. Yes, they'll be able to play the Hall of Fame card and all that. No, I think it fits perfectly, and it's exactly who they've always been as an artist. So
they rock, dude. So artists are eligible of 25 years after their first commercial recording.
Yep.
And other criteria include the influence and significance of the artist's contributions to the development and perpetuation of rock and roll.
Correct.
So when people say, well, what the hell's Wu-Tang Clan doing on there? What would you say to that, Mike?
I would say of all the artists that are inducted, the biggest slam dunk is Wu-Tang Clan.
So
Because for me, it's also, and I guess they should call me and I can help them write the criteria better. Yeah. But it's also the expansion of the genre. The probably biggest mistake they made is calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If they had called it the music
Hall of Fame,
or whatever, it's going to be Popular Music Hall of Fame, because nobody on this list has done more to expand the playing field of popular music than Wu-Tang Clan on this list. Now, there's others in the Hall of Fame, but they took and brought in all these different elements in the music they do, the art they create, plus then where that goes and who that brings into the larger thing. So, and I also believe Wu-Tang, rock and roll is about creating tribes.
Yeah.
And so the packaging to me is really important as well, right? There's how you present yourself, there's the image, there's the music, the songs you do, and the packaging of Wu-Tang. I mean, that one record produced thing that the Pharma Bro bought,
yep. The 36 Chambers. That was their new album that they hadn't released,
Yeah, that's glorious stuff. I mean,
Pharma Bro. I forgot about that turd.
Yeah, right? And he bought it, and I don't know where it is now.
I don't know either.
He's probably spinning it in his jail cell, and all the other people can listen to it. But there's something... they just did everything they did well, and they did with integrity, and that's really important to me too. So they're the biggest slam dunk for me on all of this.
And when I think of rock and roll, I think of something that's a disruptor, like you're disruptive.
Correct.
And that's what the Wu-Tang Clan, I mean, from the slums of Shaolin, the Wu-Tang Clan strikes again, Mike. It's the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, Wakeron, the Chef, You God, Ghostface Killer, and the Method Man.
Right.
They disrupted.
Well, and think about each one of those guys did on their own outside of it too, right?
Solo careers.
It was like a musical collective.
Yeah. Jizza the Genius, man. I mean, he's big with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah. He's out there. I think he had some college speech at some classes where he was talking about his music and its effect, and also I think he's big with the astronomy and the stars and stuff. So
they are the easiest one on this for me to justify, especially all of the. Hey man, rock and roll dudes, because then you're hands down, not a problem at all.
Scoreboards and set lists. Billy Idol, rock overdue.
Oh yeah,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Mike.
Absolutely. He was one of the stalwarts for those of us of a certain generation on MTV in the 80s. I mean, he was on forever. And although he portrayed it in his rock thing, I mean, he was part of the punk scene before that. I mean, he became a proto-rock punker when he became...
Is Moni, is that rock?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. It's funny that you say that. So you think...
I love the song, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So Billy Idol was in a band called Generation X before that. That was his punk band, and they were a punk band. I can't imagine when they were sitting around going, what should we cover next? And they went, how about Tommy James and the Shondells?
Which, right? Awesome group, by the way.
But it's like, well, we can do I Think We're Alone Now or Money, right?
But we got Tiffany's got I Think We're Alone Now. We'll go.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's your reason that Billy decided I would rather be rich and famous than keep my punk cred. And he did it great.
He did.
He did it phenomenal.
Rebel Yell has got to be. All
that.
Next time I do karaoke, I'm doing Rebel Yell.
And how many guys can slip a song about pleasuring oneself in on getting regular, other than the Divinals, right? I mean, what's Dancing with Myself about? If you didn't figure that out in about 4 seconds, and it got regular rotation. So,
Mike, we also got Phil Collins. Can be a sense. Phil Collins.
So I have an issue with Phil Collins.
Tell me more.
Phil Collins. Well, first of all, I was a Genesis fan when everybody knows Peter Gabriel was the original lead singer, and Phil Collins is just that whole sound that went around with that, the big drums and all that, just to me, at a time when everybody was going for less studio and more.
There's something about the 80s when it comes to that big reverb drum.
Right.
And
and he was the progenitor of it. How's that for a big word?
I like that. There's something.
And there was too much, just, I don't know. Felt too formulaic for me, And I have a big bias.
At least you're honest about it.
I understand why he's in.
Sure,
Because
of course.
it influenced that late 80s sound for better or for worse. And it doesn't say anywhere in that description that you read who's doing it, for who moved it forward in the right direction. It was moved forward or maybe backward with it. So I feel that way about a couple artists on here. Not that they don't deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but if somebody could pull up the 50 greatest snubs, it's like you're taking a slot right now that should be,
insert band here.
Insert more deserving artist here kind of stuff. And that's how I feel about Phil Collins.
How about Oasis? They're in too. I love Oasis.
I love Oasis. I will defend that one.
I love the passion.
Everything about it. I get back to the packaging. Maybe I'm a superficial guy because I like the packaging, right? The Fighting Brothers and all that other stuff. And I will defend Noel Gallagher's ability, even if it's taking Beatles and turning it into, maybe.
Well, they're bigger than the Beatles. That means they're bigger than Jesus because the Beatles are bigger than Jesus.
That's right. Liam thinks he's bigger than Jesus. I don't think that's an issue at all. I love Oasis. I love the sound. One of my favorite bar games to play is name a better first three records.
Oh, dude.
And because you can put Aerosmith in there, I can list you all these bands that's their first three records, and I'll put those first three Oasis records up against anybody's original three.
One of the first albums I ever got when I was a kid was "What's the Story, Morning Glory," and my aunt had bought it for me.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Here, take this. You'll like it." And the other one was "No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom."
Yeah.
And also it was Aerosmith's Greatest Hits, the red one
with the logo kind of cockeyed on the front.
Those were my first albums I had. Well, I had tapes too. It was Weird Al Yankovic's Bad Hair Day, but. But I'll never forget What's the Story, Morning Glory, popping it in and being like, what is this?
Yeah, and here's where the greatness is, because back in those days, before everything was on your phone, you could get it. Bands put out singles and all this other stuff, and B-sides were a huge deal. There are some B-sides that Noel Gallagher did in those first three records that are as good as some material that and those are the throwaways. Those are there's a song called Whatever that they did and a bunch that are quality stuff. They put it out eventually in the master plan, but I mean, his B-sides were better than a lot of bands' material. That's how now it's tough to keep your rock and roll edge when you're rich and 52, but at the time and with that, I put that stuff up against anybody, and you see it now in the influence that it has on bands that are big now. That I know a lot of people feel like the Beatles or the Oasis is Beatles 2.0 or 3.0, but I love everything about
similar haircuts. Well, from when they first started.
Actually,
well, that's that kind of British, that's that look.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Mike, before I let you go here, man, was there anything else you wanted to cover for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, I'm pretty happy with it. I
understand. Good. And Luther Vandross, get him in there, man. Let's go.
Absolutely. Him and Teddy Pendergrass, they could make the girls throw the underwear up on stage like nobody's beeswax.
So last thing, we'll do a little sports before you get you out of here, my man. I love doing this. It's episode number 2 for Scoreboards and Setlists.
Yep.
You're a Cubs fan. I'm a Brewers fan.
Yep.
Brewers are bunting their way. 3 straight bunts to get a 2-1 win, and before that, Sal Frelick hit a ball straight into the ground. It jumped up and then died, and then they found a way to win 2-1. Brewers are finding ways to win.
Yep.
How are your Cubbies doing?
Cubs are finally hitting to win. We went into Philadelphia and took the series and scored 12 runs and 8 runs. That was our problem. This team is supposed to win on offense and fairly good pitching, and we've had fairly good pitching and terrible offense, but we're 500. I mean, it's early. It's so easy to get wrapped up. It's so easy to get wrapped up in the where are we in the standings.
Sure.
We're 18 games in. We're a game and a half out of first place. Neither one of our teams are in first place, and both of them will be by the time June rolls around.
I don't want to leave on a sour note here, but when it comes to my life as a Brewers fan, I said I don't care where they finish as long as it's just above the Cubs. Right now, I'm okay.
As long as you're happy, I'm happy too.
Mike, I'm always happy hanging out with you, man. If people want to get involved with Joey's Song, what can they do? How can they do so?
JoeySong.org on the interwebs and on all the socials. Everything's at Joey Song. You'll find us. There's not too many of them out there. So join us, like us, follow us. It'll be great.
Love it. Scoreboards and set lists. Awesome.
Hey, thanks for sticking around all the way to the end of the podcast. A quick reminder, if you can give us a follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast provider and write a short review, it will really help us out. If you can head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel over there, that's another big help. These simple acts make it easier for others to find us. And of course, head over to joeysong.org to join our community and stay up to date on all the news. Thanks, and we'll talk again real soon.
Learn more about Joey Song by visiting joeysong.org. The theme music was composed by Sam Gamal, and Joey Song is a federally registered 501c3 charity. Thanks for listening.